All right, there we go.
Perfect. So what is your name to start off?
Judy Hackel.
Okay, and when were you born?
I was born on December 9th, 1952.
Oh, it's my friend's birthday. So where were you born?
In Pittsburgh.
Okay. What'd your parents do?
My mother was a stay-at-home mom until I guess we were all in school, and then she took a class to be a practical nurse, and so for a lot of years she took care of a woman with muscular dystrophy that was down in Southside.
Okay.
And my dad was a laborer, union laborer.
And did your mom like being at home?
No, I think she liked more. She
Working.
wasn't a real domestic. I think that's where we get it from. We're not domestic. me and my sisters aren't big cooks or anything. No. So, but I think she liked getting out around people more.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So do you remember the house where you grew up?
Yep.
Can you describe it?
It is right down the road.
Oh, wow, nice.
715 Arlington. And I shared a bedroom with my sister until 1970 when my older sister got married. But back then you shared rooms. It cracks me up that nowadays everyone has to have, all my grandchildren have their own rooms. And me and my sister, I was in 12th grade.
Yeah.
And she was in 9th grade and we were still sharing a double bed.
Yeah. Are you guys super close?
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Because I share a room with my sister and we're close. Did you play a lot of games with children in the neighborhood, or what was the neighborhood like?
It used to be a very, very busy neighborhood for kids. It now everything's kind of gotten torn down. But then, yes, we were out in the street playing football. We were playing games, Monopoly. We sat on the back porch of the Banks' family, and yeah, we did a lot. My dad would put a hose out, and that was a sprinkler, and
That's so fun. So who are the Banks family?
The Banks family were the next door neighbors who had a big back porch, so we sat on their back porch a lot. And they had 6 children, so there was one for every age of us.
So how many siblings were in your family?
I have 2 sisters, an older sister and a younger sister. I'm the middle sister in that. So
that's so fun. So they were close in age to you guys, the Banks?
My older sister was 7 years older than me. Yeah, but my younger sister and I are 3 years older.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so we still, I talk to my sister, my younger sister, just about every day. And my older sister, I check in with her on Mondays and Fridays because she does a lot of church stuff and she runs around a lot. So I catch up with her those 2 days. I know she's at home.
That's good. So then what was your first memory of going to school in this area?
We went to Grandview School. And so it was quite a bit of a walk. We had to come all the way up Arlington Avenue and then all the way up Allen Avenue and that. But my mother, because my sister was out of grade school by the time I started, and my mother paid the neighbor boy like a quarter to walk me to school. And there was this hill as you get down Arlington, it's all hills.
Oh, yes.
And he would literally drag me from tree to tree and take us up because he wasn't walking all the way up the hill and that. So it was an experience for me to go to school.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were driving in. There's a lot of
We were
hills.
like, wow, yeah, it's hilly up here.
Oh, so then did you like school, or were you one
I
of
love
the...
school. I love school. I aspired to be a teacher, but I never went to college. So.
Yeah. Well, I love the teaching profession. That's so fun.
Yes.
But so what was your favorite subject?
English.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be an English teacher.
Is that are you a lover of reading?
No, I'm really not. Well, I used to be, but now I don't read anything.
It's real.
My husband has Parkinson's.
Okay.
And now he has prostate cancer.
Oh. Wow.
And so I just don't get to read anymore.
Yeah, that will do it.
Reading has just gone by the way. Just even sitting outside and reading would be a treat, but I just don't have it right now.
No, that makes sense.
So then, when did you start getting out to go alone with your friends? From the beginning, or?
No. 8th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade was a turning point. I had gone to South High School, and I was chosen to be in Scholars, Pittsburgh Scholars, which is a program that they had just started. We were actually the second graduating class. Okay. But what they did was, instead of me going to South High, they transferred me to Knoxville.
Okay.
So I had to walk all the way up to Knoxville every day.
Oh.
And then from there, I graduated from South Hills.
Okay.
Because they did not have this program at every school.
Mm-hmm.
So my best friend in 8th grade then, she lived back Arlington. I did a lot of walking. I was
Yeah.
so I would walk back Arlington just in the summer just about every day. And then I would come home for dinner. And then I would walk back Arlington. And then my dad would pick me up at 10 o'clock.
So then, Scholars, was that like, were you leaving the school? Like, did you get to take friends with you, or was it just you doing this program?
No, there was the whole class. I just, everybody else in my neighborhood went
Okay.
to South High. I was the only one that walked up the hill.
Okay. So then, when you like would go up and walk to your friend's house, like, what would you guys do? What were some activities?
Hang around just like they do now.
That's
We didn't
nice.
get into mischief though, and now, but we walked around, or we went to the movies, things that especially once we got old enough to drive.
Yeah.
Then maybe would go to the mall. That's when malls were just starting out.
That's
And
so fun.
Monroeville Mall was like the first mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice. So then, how did your community around you shape you? I know you're talking about your mom paying the quarter, and
Yeah. Well, I think that we didn't have money. I mean, but nobody in my neighborhood did. And so until I got to high school, I didn't realize, because Knoxville people didn't have money either. But there I was mixed with kids from Beachview and Brookline and that. And that was the first time that I actually realized that people had lots of money to do things that I never got to do. And that, so that gave me an appreciation for people who work hard but don't make lots of money.
yeah.
And people that just can't do it. And so then I really started thinking about neighborhoods and what can be done to improve the lives of the people in the poor neighborhoods.
That's really admirable. So when did you start working, and what was your first job?
My first job, I was in 9th grade, and it was McCrory's 5 and Dime down in downtown Pittsburgh. It was on 5th Avenue. So that was it, and I was in charge on weekends. In downtown used to be open Mondays and Thursday nights, so on Monday and Thursday nights, and then Saturday, stores weren't open on Sundays back then.
Okay.
So then we would. I was in charge of the earring counter.
Oh,
That's awesome.
that's amazing.
So that was my job, and that was my first job. And then when I got out of high school, my first job was at Museu Manufacturing, which is right down at the corner there. It's no longer theirs, but so I just had to once again walk up that hill.
A lot of walking.
Yes, I
So
did
what
a lot
kind
of walking.
like other work did you do? Did you stick with retail a lot, or?
No. It would be I know the year. It was 1980. I went to UPMC McGee.
Okay.
So I started at McGee, and then from McGee I went to Children's, and I spent 31 years at Children's Hospital.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And then from there when we moved to the new hospital, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
We were separated from the clinicians. I worked in the office. We were separated from our clinicians, and so you didn't feel like you were all a team.
Yeah.
It was like we were here and they were in the hospital. We were in the administration building. So it just wasn't the same. And so everybody started kind of leaving that. So I applied for a job as an executive assistant in UPMC Shady Side. And so I spent then the next 4 years as an assistant to Dr. Amr Zoricat, and he specializes in pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
So that's where I ended up my career.
Well, that's a really fun thing. So what work then do you do that's associated with the Hilltop Alliance?
Oh, name it, I did it. The police station, I scrubbed down every single step in that entire building whenever it was a youth hostel. It was a youth hostel before that.
I didn't know
it was
that.
a bank, and then it went to be a youth hostel. Well, then 9/11 happened,
Okay.
and nobody was traveling to USA. So we then fixed the building up, and then I went to the mayor and convinced him. We had done a study. Hey, I'm working on an interview. Can you guys stay on, and can you take him out?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Go outside.
so cute.
Joey been to move that. So then I went down. We did a study of how long it took to get from all the parts of the zone.
Okay.
And I went down to, that was when Ravenstall was mayor, and I went down and I took this study and I convinced him that this was the building for the police station rather than down on the south side or in any of the other communities. And we got
Okay.
it. So,
Well, that's awesome.
That is
yeah,
awesome.
that's my big claim to fame.
So would you say that that's the most rewarding, or would you say like your work with the hospital was like more rewarding?
I think they were equally rewarding, you know, because once again, at the hospital, pancreatic cancer, you really,
Oh, yeah.
you're not getting cured, you're just prolonging your life.
Mm-hmm.
And as Dr. Zorkat used to tell them, get your affairs in order.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he would take me to clinic with him because good old UPMC gives you 15 minutes to see a patient. You can't see a pancreatic patient in 15 minutes and tell them that they have pancreatic cancer or tell them that there's no more treatment.
Yeah.
So Dr. Zorkat took me over because he said, you can talk to a wall. And so the nurse would go in and get all the stuff. And then I would go in and just like look at where, oh, you came from up north. We have a summer place up in Cochrane. And I would jabber, you know.
Yeah.
And now, so that the wait wasn't so long. You know, you go into that room and you think they forget about you. You know, so
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
Well, yeah, I know you're talking about like hospitals being a team. I think it's really nice to have like that.
Yeah.
Like
so that
rewarding
was,
thing.
and those were people who really needed care.
Right.
So I felt for all of them. I felt for everyone. And they would call in and need more medicine. And Dr. Zorkat would be in the OR. So I would run to the OR and have him come out to sign scripts. And always on Friday, everybody realizes they don't have enough medication.
Yeah.
So Friday, I should have got out of there 4:30. If I got out at 5:30, I was lucky.
Yeah.
And my husband, who has the patience of a saint, would sit out in the car and wait for me because he took me to work and back. And but it was always them. But I wouldn't leave. The other girls, you know, 4:30, their phones are on automatic and that. And I was like, no, you know.
Yeah.
And that. So I took. Well, theirs were on automatic at 4. I took all the last calls and I found, you know, ways to help them through the weekend. And so that was just as rewarding as, this is a very poor neighborhood. We're getting better, but it was very bad. And, you know, and just to try to bring something that would do something for the people in the neighborhood. I always liked the police station. I knew that would bring more walking into the neighborhood with the police and just a sense of comfort. Because you have a police station right at the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
So it's always been kind of the same. You know?
Yeah, that makes total sense. So then you said you didn't go to college.
No.
Do you know why?
Yeah, we were poor.
Yeah.
You know, and there weren't programs. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and why my mother even, I can't blame it on them, but why I pursued that instead of like a business career and that, but when it came time to go, there was no money to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I went to work.
That makes sense.
A lot of girls did that. I mean, the guys, they seemed to find money for them to go to college. But women just didn't, you know.
Yeah.
It was 1970.
So you had sisters. So
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they took clerical and got much better jobs than I did.
So then have you guys ever moved, or have you just always been local to this area?
Oh, I've been in Allentown all my life. 73 years I've lived in these hills.
That's amazing.
Yeah. My husband, too. And
That's
I
awesome.
just never found a reason to leave. It's very centrally located.
Yeah.
And that, so,
So then what's your husband's name?
Joseph,
Okay, and how'd you guys meet?
in a bar in Allentown.
Okay, and has he been here all his life as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He lived on the other side of the hill. He lived up towards Grandview Park. And that's so.
That's nice. What do you remember about your wedding?
Ours was kind of a strange wedding because Joe had a daughter his first wife had run off.
Okay.
So he had a 5-year-old daughter. So I became a wife and a mother at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was a little different, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And it was on Halloween, so she had to be taken out trick or treating at my wedding.
Wow.
So we had the reception at my sister's house. Once again, no money, and I dressed her up in her Halloween costume. She was Wonder Woman, and she went around my sister's neighborhood.
That's so fun. So is that
wow, that's awesome.
your picture?
No, I don't have a wedding picture.
Okay.
Once again, we were poor. Those are my daughters.
Okay.
This is my older daughters, one that I adopted, and they're out on the deck.
Her gown is gorgeous.
Yeah, wow.
So that would have been back in the 80s. And then Jenny, the one that just came in, because she was at soccer, was our Kylie. That's her wedding picture.
Okay.
And then Julia is my youngest. She's 41, and that was her wedding. We actually, at the time, it was my big fat gypsy wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually got the carriage that they use in that.
Oh my
and
Wow.
The driver, and that was Julia. It pulled up here.
Yeah.
And we had to find a place to put the horses and everything.
Oh my goodness.
So I went to the funeral home because I know everybody in town.
Yeah.
And I said, can they park their like trailers and that here? And she says, well, unless we have a funeral. So then I had to go across to the church to use that as a secondary. So it was a lot of planning, but we didn't tell her. It was a total surprise.
Oh.
And
that's
so
awesome.
going down to Southside, there was Julian and Joe, my husband, and then on the other side were my two youngest granddaughters. Well, Emily and Grace at the time. They were the only two. Kylie wasn't born.
Yeah.
So, and they rode down with them. And then me and Jenny and Julia, we went in the car and we put the top down and we followed them and filmed it all going through Allentown and that. And
That's
Joe, who
sensational.
owns most of the businesses around here now, he owns the buildings. He said, I remember that. I just moved in here. And I thought, my God, there's a horse carriage in Allentown. So,
Oh, well, that's amazing. So those are all your kids?
Those are all my kids.
Oh,
and
so-
then I have 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
it keeps-
amazing.
yeah, it's busy. And I'm sort of, I'll tell you, I'm the matriarch. Nobody here does anything without me.
That's good.
So we know what everybody's doing all the time. So
Yeah. So
it works.
do you like love being a grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not big with babies.
Yeah.
But not like Kylie. Well, she's just my favorite. And they all, because she still wants to do nails with me. She still wants to learn crafts. She still.
Was she the soccer player that came?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so she, and she always wants money off of me, certain things, and wants to go shopping. The other two, this is Emily. Emily graduated from Ohio State, the Ohio State.
Oh.
So, Emily, and this is her dog Earl. They live next door.
Oh, wow.
So nice.
and then Gracie she just finished her sophomore year at Indiana.
Okay.
IUP. So those two, they've grown out of me. Except for Emily uses my microwave. She comes over for dinner and all that. And then this is our baby. This is Max.
Oh.
He's very intelligent.
Yeah.
He has a vocabulary like you wouldn't believe. And then Jenny has these kids. And that's Kylie. And that's Keegan. And that's Caden. And Caden's now graduating this year. He's going to be a plumber.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And Keegan's probably going to be president. He's or a lawyer. He and I don't know what she's going to do. But it'll probably be illegal.
That's all right. So have your kids all stayed local?
Yes.
Okay, well that's
Yes.
nice.
And not as close as I wish they were, but
Yeah.
they're in the area. Jenny's my big helper, and she's in Zoe Noble.
That's nice.
That's a little far, but we
Yeah.
get there.
Who's this picture back here?
That's Joe's parents' wedding picture. And then on the other one, that's my mother and dad's wedding picture. And Joe and I don't have a
Yeah, wow.
Oh, well then what do you do today for work?
I'm a caregiver to Joe.
Yeah.
And I kind of know everything that's going on in Allentown and that. And I help out. When we have night market, I run the information desk. I walk the neighborhood, and when there's cars illegally parked and have been there for a gazillion years, I turn them in. When a new business comes in, I go and I introduce myself and talk to them about it. We just opened a non-alcoholic beverage store on Warrington Avenue and that. So that's what I do. I worry about Allentown. I used to be with Allentown CDC.
Okay.
And that was our organization that we had for, I guess, 20 some years. And then, to be honest with you, some people joined that don't really live in the neighborhood. And so I took a leave of absence when Joe was diagnosed with Parkinson's, because I didn't know what this would entail. And then just like 4 months ago, I told him I wanted to come back, because we that was before the cancer, but I could manage the Parkinson's. Like, we have a chairlift, and we've kind of figured out life. And they had me interview, and they said that they wanted somebody, there's 5 of them on the whole entire board, that they wanted somebody who could write grants.
Oh my gosh.
Hilltop Alliance does all that, so they wouldn't allow me to join again. So after 20 some years getting the police station, getting everything done around here, these 5 people decided that I no longer should be doing anything.
Oh my goodness.
So
that's horrible.
now we're starting a new group.
Yeah.
It's
As you
called
should.
Allentown Cares.
Okay.
Because these people they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever we have an event, they're not there.
Yeah.
And that's so, and we're going to focus more on like cleaning up. The 900 blocks around here are the furthest. So they're like, they need to be cleaned up. We did Excelsior Street last week, and we're going to start doing that. And then just things to help, like I signed up after I left there and with the senior high rise, and they hadn't had a residential group, so they weren't getting all their funding because you had to have a residential group. So I went and helped them. They needed a third party, and we organized it. And now they got televisions in their rec room, and they have donuts, and they can actually converse instead of all being in their own office, apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. That
So
I'll have
that's
to keep
what I
up
do.
to date with Allentown
Yeah,
Cares.
for sure.
So then, what's like the most important thing to you today?
My husband and keeping him well,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, family comes first, but Allentown's, we're so close. It's like so close. I bleed for Allentown. I do. The guy who owns Bottle Rocket got married yesterday, and they invited us to a wedding. We were the only one in the neighborhood invited. And it just made me feel good because I feel like he respects me. You know,
Yeah.
and that. But have you ever been to Bottle Rocket?
No.
Not. We'll have to check that out.
You haven't. City Paper does the best of every year. The last 3 years, we've been the best dive bar in the city of Pittsburgh.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Brandy, who's the bouncer in that, she was the best bouncer for the last 2 years.
Wow.
Dana,
that's
is one of
cool.
the bartenders. She was best bartender last year. La Familia down the street was the second best Italian restaurant in the city. I mean, Allentown won more awards last year than any other neighborhood in the city.
Wow, that's so
amazing.
cool.
But it's the Bottle Rocket is the most undiscriminating bar I've ever been to in my life. Like when you walk in, people don't go like, you know, and that, and there's men with skirts, there's women with ties, there's old people, there's, you know, and you just sit across the bar from them and you talk, and then they have things like, we did tie-dyeing one night, and then country
wow,
line
that's
dancing,
awesome.
and then they just had a painting class where you did the trees and
That's
stuff.
so fun. We have to check it out.
I was gonna say, I turned 21 in 15 days.
Do you?
So
I've got
I
a year.
feel like I'm gonna have to go.
No, are you 21?
I'm 20.
Oh.
You're 20? You're about to graduate?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
I'm sure you would like it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
and
that
it
kind of
is,
place.
and the music, sometimes it's different. They have a lot of local bands there, and that. And
That's really cool.
Chris actually was doing like videos and blogs and that from his basement, and the opportunity came up that he met Joe, and Joe took the building was empty, and they turned it. It was a bar already, and then it closed up. And they turned it into Bottle Rocket, and the wedding. Rick Seebeck is the officiant because Rick Seebeck's up
That's
there all
so
the
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of these like stores, were they present when you were here, or did they kind of? Yeah.
No. There's there's not a single store left that when I was growing up is now
Okay.
on Warrington Avenue. Warrington Avenue is our main business district.
Yeah.
None of them. There's not a single one that was here. But the buildings stayed.
Okay.
But then we went through the late 70s and 80s, and what we promoted as you can get to Allentown faster than and go anywhere, because we can go anywhere in every direction without going through a tunnel.
Yeah.
So we promoted
That is
this.
pretty well
Well,
done.
who took advantage of it were the prostitutes and the Johns.
Mm.
So they would pick them up right on my corner as I was calling the police, and they knew it. But they would pick them up, go down like into Bell Sewer, and bring them back and still get their lunch hour. I made it so
Wow.
convenient with my advertising. So now I write like every day. I write on Facebook just like every day.
Yeah.
There'll be something. If it's not in Allentown, it's in the Hilltop. You know, like now they're having a dental van come.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's up at Abiding Missions Net. And so I just every day keep this going, and then I pass it on to like the other local groups so that they can put it on their Facebook page.
That's nice. So what was
Yeah.
it like seeing all these stores kind of flourish?
Oh, I danced at every one of them. I mean, I didn't know what was ever going to happen to them, but they're kind of goth.
Okay.
Okay, we have goth. The Weeping Glass is goth, and then she also owns the Grim Wizard, which is the coffee shop, which was #1 in the city of Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Also. And she's moving it from this corner. She's moving it down onto the front street. She's at the end of the month, and then we have Dr. Tumbledee's and the Storybook Lounge, and they look. If you go in, you think you were in New Orleans.
Okay.
So everything kind of has themes now, and
Yeah.
they do burlesque.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
cool.
Which I haven't been to. I don't know. And I've been
wow.
to the store, but I don't get there. And they make their own moonshine. And then we got Bottle Rocket. And then, you know, like a neighborhood pharmacy, you know, like all the regulars. But we have some, there's a girl that she does like books. She sells books and things with books, t-shirts and stuff. And it's either like Wuthering Heights, like that kind of Aaron Dickinson and that.
Yeah.
And then in the front it's kind of like all space stuff, and that it's very strange. But, you know, and she seems to be doing okay.
Yeah.
What made it flourish is we got a grant from the URA
Okay.
for, I'm sorry, we got a grant from the state for 7 years. And what they did the first 2 years were they went and they paid the rent
Okay.
for you to open a new business.
Wow.
Up to like so much. Joe Calloway, who owns most of the buildings, he would give them a cheap price. You
Yeah.
know, because they're starting out. And in the first 2 years, if there's anything that you're going to need and it's going wrong, that's when you find it out. So they weren't taking it out of their own pocket. They
Yeah.
had this grant. And we did like sign grants, and we've done like sidewalk grants. Like we found every grant to help all these businesses. So now they're stable,
Yeah.
and they can stay here.
That's nice.
And that, so, you know, so we've worked with them to do that.
Yeah.
And signs, you know, all that Main Street stuff. We did Main Street, and we got the signs and all that other stuff here.
Yeah. So then what are your dreams?
For this neighborhood,
Yeah, for this neighborhood, for you.
for me to win $1 million and to fix
Me too.
every single house in Allentown. My husband says with $1 million, we're moving the hell out of Allentown. Somewhere you got to ring a bell to get up our driveway or something. But I would help everybody in this neighborhood that I could.
Wow.
That's amazing. So then I see that you brought the
Yeah, you got some
Allentown.
literature
Yes.
for us.
I didn't know we have an Allentown book. Actually, we're out of it. The writing though is all at the History Center.
Okay.
But we back in, I don't know what year we did this. I guess
Oh, you guys did this.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Published, where the heck's the date? Gotta be a date on here. But here's my name. This was our
Wow.
organization then. And I don't know, it has to have a year, right? I don't think so. Seems like I should know this. Bob Kress was the president at that time.
Okay.
There has to be a date, right?
They're at the bottom. There you go.
1990.
Wow.
So that's our history book. So you can look up at the History Center, go onto their website, and you can pull like all the stuff. That shows like the maps from back in the 1800s when we got started.
Yeah.
You mind if we take pictures for our
No, go
project?
ahead.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So do you guys collaborate with a lot of the businesses around here to write this, or was it just primarily?
Yes, no. We knew every one of those businesses.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You talk so well of all of them. I'm like, I feel like now I have a bunch of stores I have to go visit.
You do. Sunday's not a good day for it, but
Yeah.
you need to make a tour on some
for
Saturday if you want to come up. I'll be more than delighted to give you the tour.
Oh, I would
Absolutely.
be there.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
Wow, this is awesome. That's such
So
a
how
cool
long
thing.
did this take you guys?
Oh, years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Years, and then trying to find pictures. It's really hard because you think you take a lot of pictures, but you really don't when you try
Yeah.
to like. I don't. Nobody has them.
Yeah.
We're taking pictures back, when you had to take it to get developed and nobody had, their phones that did
Yeah.
everything for them. It was just different. I mean, you had to pay for every one of those pictures. So
Yeah.
people didn't take pictures. You
That
just
would do
didn't
it.
do it.
Wow,
Well,
this
that's
is so cool,
amazing.
though.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing
And then
that.
what we did too, which was neat, and the people down on the front street that own the businesses now, they got a kick out of, was we took we go the 600, 700, 800 block. That's our business district.
Yeah.
We took what they were and how they changed, and what they were
Okay.
in 1990.
Wow.
So people love to see that. Now go,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
so this
so
is
interesting.
mine. This is my building. Oh, and they would just go and find it, what it was.
Yeah.
So that was
so
cute to do.
That's amazing.
That's so interesting. Wow.
I know I'm on your tape, but
Oh, no, go ahead. We can
totally.
totally
Go
pause
ahead.
it.
Mrs. Bainey. Mrs. Bainey's 101. She lives up the street. She checks on me.
Oh wow.
Wow.
She checks on you.
I'm her. She was my mentor. I don't even know where the hell I put. I have more junk in this house.
Has she been in Allentown all her life as
All
well?
her life. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sensing a theme.
And she has a better knowledge. We play with the dice at Easter and Christmas. So I keep the board. I keep everything. I can't find it. But what I did for Joe had his 60th class reunion, and I went down and took pictures of buildings, and then I put what they are now, their signs and that, and then I had them all guess what building used to be there in 1965.
Wow, that's so
Oh,
fun.
my
And
goodness.
I have all the pictures because then I took it over to Joe Calloway, who, like I said, owns most of this. I took it over and had his workers.
Yeah.
Like, who they weren't around in 1965, but, to see what they know and just to show
Yeah.
them, what's changed.
Did a lot of people guess right, or were a lot of people off?
The people at Joe's reunion, they could tag most of them,
Okay.
and that because the bakery, like ones that we knew, the state store,
Yeah.
things like that. But the younger people didn't know it, They,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
don't
of
know it.
course.
Joe didn't know them. He's younger, and he didn't. He grew up in Knoxville though.
Yeah.
But he connected with people, and he graduated from college. He was in the Navy, graduated from college, and then he decided to start buying property. And as you can imagine, property, I think he's been here 15 years now, property was dirt cheap.
Yeah,
We had a lot of disasters, like the house that lives next door to me, which is going to fall down someday. And Joe started with him, and now he owns over 100 rental properties.
Wow.
And he owns, except for 2 buildings, he owns everything on Warrington Avenue.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah. And it's scary though.
Yeah.
Because if he decides to get out of this and sells his lot, everything, we could get a slumlord from Florida who never comes up and does it, whereas Joe's right here. So it's
Right.
kind of scary and that, but I don't think he has any intentions, at least yet, of leaving. But he grew up in Knoxville, so he grew up with a single mother, and he was poor, That's like the rest of us. And so he can appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, like he really does try to fix these houses up and that. But, you know, now that rent is so expensive. I can't believe people pay this to live here. But together we work with Abiding Missions, which is social services organization, and we work with the other organizations to try to get as much as we can, like, you know, smoke detectors and, you know, just teaching them and that, and we have cooking lessons, whatever we think that people around here need.
Yeah.
We try to do that. And then we have a big celebration for the last 2 years up at Grandview Park for 4th of July, you know, and that. So it's just trying to make them feel like they're part of a neighborhood and part of a city.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some of these people don't, you know, people around here don't even have cars.
Yeah.
You know, Dollar General is their store. You know, it's a shame. So we try to help them. And then we have night market twice a year, and we have over 3,000 people who come for night market. And it's
Wow.
all goth. I love it. You wouldn't believe what they all have on. And I go with a big hat and a black, and I do,
Oh, yes.
and I work the table. But what we try to do is get people who don't live here to volunteer
Yeah.
Yeah.
for things, or to say to people, are you interested in maybe looking in a house here? Because
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
still, you know, and so I try to talk to them about Allentown.
Yeah.
You know, and that. So we do that twice a year.
Okay, so is night market like in a place, or is it along like streets?
It's all Warrington Avenue.
Okay.
And we have a garage, which used to be a baking company, and then there's vendors, they have 100 vendors
Okay.
Wow.
selling goth stuff.
Yeah.
And they come out with bags. So I guess there's a lot of them. There's at least 3,000 that we know of. And so, you know, just trying to get people interested in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say you guys have had like a lot of success?
I think there's still a lot of people that when you say Allentown, they don't know where it is. Did you know did you ever?
See, I'm from the east, so we have an Allentown out there.
Oh, yes, you
but
Yes.
yeah, but no, I've heard a little bit because I heard one of my friends lives out here, but that's the only time I've heard of Allentown.
Yeah, I mean, I also knew it, but I'm not from this area, so
Yeah.
I don't really hear I just hear words, like buzzwords about people talking about Pittsburgh, and I just kind of nod my head and I try to
Pittsburgh
pretend
has
to
90
agree.
neighborhoods, and we all have our own identity.
Yeah,
That's
really
definitely
do.
true.
Yeah.
that's nice.
So, but yeah, we're winning lots of awards, and you know, getting more attention than we ever did.
Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah,
it.
So,
And it's not too far of a drive from the city, so
No, it's really close.
yeah.
when I was a kid, if I didn't go climb up the hill, I went down to town. Because there were stores there and that. I'd walk
Yeah.
down to town, walk across the Smithfield Street Bridge.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
Did you feel safe walking so often, or like I walk to class and stuff, and I'll walk to the south side, and sometimes I don't know, I get nervous.
I used to, and that this has calmed down. I think they all went to the south side, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for south side. And all the prostitution, I thought that would go to Mount Oliver, which is the next neighborhood, but it went
Yeah.
to Carrick. And
Okay.
Carrick has, their property values have depreciated, just
Yeah.
like south side's getting.
Yeah.
But they're still building down there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of professionals down there. It's just on the weekends you get that craziness
Yeah.
and that. So I wouldn't go down there in the evening.
No.
And to be honest with you, I don't go to any of the bars from 18th Street this way.
Yeah.
I go down to Chilka's too, down on 24th Street. And
Yeah.
Richie's kind of old, not as old as me, but you know, and I'll go down there if we decide to go out to get some drinks if we don't go over to Bottle Rocket.
Yeah. So you said you went downtown as a kid. Like, what kind of stores were there?
Everything.
Yeah.
Downtown was the place to be. I mean, it can make me cry to get downtown now and see what it is. I mean, you had Kaufman's, you had Horns, you had Gimbel's, you had 3 big department stores, you had women's shops, bridal shops, and
Yeah.
name it. It was a men's shops for suits, and everything was down there. Theaters, you know, live theaters and Nixon Theater, and we had it was there. And back then, you got dressed to go downtown.
Oh.
Like when I was really
Wow.
young, you would wear white gloves, and dress to go downtown.
Really?
And, yeah,
That's amazing.
That's fascinating to hear. My mom says the same thing about downtown. I mean, we're from West Virginia, but she was like, "Oh, when we used to go to Pittsburgh and go downtown, that was like the sensational thing."
It was, and all the corporations, U.S. Steel, Coppers, and that, they all had their buildings.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was, I mean, it's really just, the Pittsburgh of today is nothing like the Pittsburgh when I was young.
Yeah.
But then nothing in the world is like that, you know? So,
Yeah.
For sure.
so you just have to adapt.
Yeah.
I do it pretty good. The techie stuff kind of screws me up sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just ask for
Same
help.
here.
So you said all those stores, like, is that, like, do you know where in the city those are? Or, like, they just were kind of all over and now they're just gone?
They were all those stores were right in downtown Pittsburgh.
Okay.
On Smithfield and 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue. It was like it was just polluted. I mean, with good stores, not tattoo shops and all that. So, but they went out of business. Shopping malls started.
Okay.
So why gotta walk from this store to this store to this store when first it came with, they would have them like, I'm trying to think of one maybe that you no, like Monroeville, but just the strip of Monroeville, not the mall. So it started with the strip, what they called strip malls.
Okay.
And they were all there, so at least you only had parked car ones and they were all there.
Yeah.
And then they started with malls. So now you can get everything you could get down here in one place with a roof over you. You didn't have to walk out in the rain, and it killed downtown.
Yeah.
It just killed it.
Was that saddening?
Yeah, it killed the neighborhood businesses too. You know, people weren't going to a shoe store to buy shoes when they could go to Kmart and buy shoes for $5, or when the dollar light blinked, you could get them for $1. So it just all the small neighborhoods, all 90 of them, struggle every day.
Yeah.
And we're lucky we have that event twice a year, and that brings in enough money, because it's not expensive. I mean, they're not paying tons of money, but it brings in enough to keep the businesses going, pay their rent, and that, so we can keep them now.
Yeah.
But, you know, as things go up, I don't know what we'll have to do.
Yeah. And what event is that?
Night market.
Oh, okay.
How long have you guys been doing that?
I think 7 years.
Wow.
The first year it was like, you know, some people, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, you can't get across the street. We got to get a traffic guard, and then there's like people piling up, and we were like, oh.
That's awesome.
And now it's, you know, it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's put on by a few people, which is a shame. But you just can't get people to volunteer. Everybody thinks they're too busy.
Yeah.
And they always say, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person. And it's true. So there's like 6 of us getting trash cans out, directing the vendors to park their cars out at the end, you know, getting them the big food trucks in and getting them backed up into slots, and that it's a lot. But
So when do you guys start preparing for that in the year? Like months before?
Well, our next one is June.
Okay.
And
So
we're already meeting, and you know, they have, what they got to do is the vendors have to put in an application. And then Kelly, who runs Weeping Glass, she goes through and sees how many likes in that, how many people follow them, and then she looks at the quality of all of their stuff online and everything, and then she chooses 100.
Okay.
Out of probably, I bet you she gets at least 500.
Wow.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, so it's just like the elite of goth.
That's such a fun thing.
Yeah, wow, that's fantastic.
If you come, we're black. Just tell me.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is good to know.
Oh, so what was it like telling your story?
I've told my story to newspapers. I've done this before.
Yeah.
And but by the grace of God is how I live. But by the grace of God, I could be living in a tent. And that, you know, I mean, things just worked out. And like I said, I worked, when I first started, I worked 5 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning. Because that way I couldn't afford babysitters. So I was home with my kids. And then when they went to school, if they were sick and that, and then my husband walked in the door at 4:30, and I walked out the door. And then we had the one car, and that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And my husband would be up every night at 1 o'clock with a meal or anything that I wanted. he would hear gruesome stories about the emergency room at Children's.
He sounds amazing.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to get in touch just to ask for, like, artifacts. Like, is there anything that you feel like really encompasses your life? I know you showed us a lot of pictures.
This house.
Yeah.
When we bought this house for $8,000. It didn't have any bathrooms in it, and 2 families lived here.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
There wasn't even a shower. There was just a toilet downstairs. I don't know how they lived.
Yeah.
You know, but all of this, Joe and I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad, he passed away before we got it done. Oh, we're still not done. I'm still. My kids have decided that walking down the basement to do laundry is just old-fashioned, I guess. So we went and put a new deck on, and so there was a space there that just went back. It actually was a coal chute because this house is like 130 years old.
Yeah.
And so we covered up the coal chute finally, and they built out that room. Now I'm waiting for the drywall, and it's my son-in-law doing it, and it's trout season. It might be done by Christmas. Put it this way, I'm still downstairs.
Yeah.
But this, we have a summer place, actually 2 houses up in Cochrane outside of Meadville. But when I come home, it's always like, I love my house. I just,
Yeah.
you know, and
I get it.
Because we accomplished this, Joe and I, because we came from nothing.
Yeah.
But good families, but nothing.
Yeah.
No money, nobody would help us.
Yeah. And you worked for what you had.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Well, everything except for my living room furniture, and I mean just the sofa and the love season. Everything's secondhand off a marketplace.
Wow.
I am
That's
a
awesome.
place fanatic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any extra questions?
You said, by the grace of God, have you always been steadfast in your faith?
Yes, I'm not a church-going person. I was when I was in school and that, but I think that there's a lot of hypocrites in church.
I agree.
But I very much am. I believe in someone's up there helping us, hopefully, and that. But yeah, Joe will tell you that whenever we go past like homeless encampments and stuff like that, and I say to Joe all the time, but by the grace of God, it could be us. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's always kind of just guided me. And that's why I guess I always wanted to help the kids, and I want to help the neighbors here, because nobody here had money to give them. You know what I mean? Like I've been blessed because like all my kids, you know, they all had big weddings, they all graduated from college, they all got good jobs, they all own their own houses, and I could help them with that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a rarity. And it's more, people now make more money and they help their kids now. But back when I was a kid, there was no money to help me. There's no money to help most of these people that around here. And just nobody made money. You know, they were in the steel mills when that left, you know, Pittsburgh, that killed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just, I've been blessed and I just try to keep my neighborhood going, and just it's my passion. It's my passion.
Yeah.
And that my neighborhood is. People know it. They call me the queen. Allentown. No, that's why I said, why did we get invited to this wedding? There's not a single other person from Allentown. Joe goes, because you're the queen.
The representative of it.
Yeah. So, but, yeah,
That's so
that's
nice.
Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for talking to us.
it. So now, what year are you guys in?
I'm a junior, so I got one more year left.
And what are you studying?
Psychology and criminal justice.
We're gonna need lots of psychology. This next generation.
Yeah, and then I'm a senior who's graduating December. And then I'm political science and pre-law.
Oh, so is that where you think you're going?
Yeah, so I'm hoping, I'm doing my LSATs now. So, I'm hoping to stay a little bit local for law school.
There you go.
So, yes.
Yeah. I have one daughter that's a nurse. My oldest daughter is the executive director of Allegheny County Parks Foundation.
Okay.
Like all the big projects that are done at the 7 county parks, she gets the funding for that. That's why I laugh. They said that I couldn't be back on my board because I couldn't write grants, and she's writing them for $1 million. I think I could have got help with the grant. And then Jenny, she does something with fraud. We never can figure out exactly what Jenny does. She's got like OCD bad letters and that. So, but yeah, so they're all doing their thing.
Yeah.
And, Joey has her master's in nonprofit.
Okay.
From Carlo.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So since the time they were kids, they were doing volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, they were making popcorn in bags for when we had night market. Night out and stuff. So they've always done it.
Yeah, and they really love Allentown.
They love Allentown, but they don't want to live here.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh public schools are terrible.
Yeah.
All my kids graduated from Pittsburgh public schools, but it was a different time. But now, so every one of them have left for better school districts, and I understand it, And that. Well, Jenny, she's out in Zoinopa. She's in Seneca Valley, which is a huge school district. I mean, there's like thousands of kids. But she always says they built a house out there. She says she's on like a 10-year program. As soon as Kylie gets out of school, she's I'm back in the city. She doesn't like it up there, but she's made friends. There's lots of kids there for my grandkids, so that's good about it. But I don't know. I don't know what will happen to the city. Professionals keep moving in, but families don't move in Pittsburgh as much as like. And I think that Mayor O'Connor, he comes from a neighborhood. He comes from Greenfield. His dad was a mayor, and he spent his whole life following his dad, just like my kids was. Every one of my kids do. Jenny runs the soccer league. Julia runs the PTA, and Joey, that's her job with the parks. Every one of them still do volunteer work.
Yeah.
And I said, you got to be involved.
Well, I'm sure. I was going to say, I'm sure that stems from you.
And Joe refers to himself as my #1 helper because he always had to do everything. Nobody knew him. We'd go to like parties or openings or with the governor would come, and then say, "Is this Judy Hackel?" That's her husband. That one knew.
That's funny.
Well, he's a good accessory.
Yes, he is. So.
Well, that's amazing. Like I said, we're going to try and just like reach out and get like pictures. We got some of this, which I'm super excited about because I didn't know
that's really awesome.
Yeah, that existed. But yeah, so like if you just have like, I know you said that the house is yours. Like if you want to do like your deed or just like physical documents that we can have, like you get them back, but we just get like pictures of.
Okay, let me see what I can figure out. I have, as you can imagine, tons of photographs upstairs from when you actually got them printed. They didn't just stay on your phone. Mm-hmm. And I always want to sort out the Allentown ones, but I never do it. This will be a good mission, and that for Joe. The box is next to him, and he has to sit, and he doesn't have the energy to do anything else, and he can go through pictures. So hopefully I'll get I've got a pair, Mayor Murphy. He's like 4 mayors back now. I held the ladder while he put up the first actual banner that we ever did in Allentown.
Wow.
Stuff like that, yeah. And when we opened the police station and when we opened the hospital, and it just, and I just have them shoved in boxes along with my kids growing up. And so I'm going to set to do that, and I can find my deed and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just anything that you feel like represents your community or you.
Mrs. Bainey.
Yeah.
And I still take her. We built 31 houses for rent up on the other side of the hill.
Wow.
And I went and got her, and she was out there. Got a picture of her with us when Gainey was married. Got her picture with her with Gainey. And then Corey came over for a fundraiser over Bottle Rocket. I took her to Bottle Rocket.
That's
There's a picture
awesome.
of Corey and Mrs. Bainey. I just drag her around for these things. But she loves it, and she can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And that, but she still lives in a huge house. She has a huge house, and she still lives alone.
Wow.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
I know. That's my goal.
Well, yeah. I don't have any further questions.
No, I don't think
All right.
so.
Well, thank you,
I
girls.
appreciate
It was
this so much.
so nice
This is awesome.
talking with you.
Yeah, come.
Yeah.
If you decide someday you want a tour,
Oh, I'm there because I want to check out the night market.
Yeah, I do too.
okay. June 14th. June 14th is that Saturday.
Here, let's see.
That's the date.
It is.
I stopped recording, but I gotta see. It is a. Yeah, it's a Sunday.
June 14th is a Sunday, yeah.
Oh, then it'll be June 13th.
Okay.
It'll be night
Awesome.
market.
Awesome.
They'll be advertising it. You'll see it on television and that. They'll bring in, artists and talk to them about the night market. It gets good press.
Yeah.
So you'll see about it.
And you get interviewed a good bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, not so much that. Kelly runs that, and she's got
Okay.
scarlet red hair, and she's got tattoos, and she's got piercings everywhere. And I just accept this now that this is how we live. But I get it when people a fire in its old house and it burns down to me, or an old person dies, like when Mrs. Bainey dies. I'm sure the Channel 2 will be standing on my porch doing it. Like that kind of stuff. I do more of that now.
Yeah.
I don't represent the neighborhood anymore. It's
Yeah.
just much younger and that. But I represent the history.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah, and I learned so much more
Yeah,
like
about
today.
Allentown. Wow, that's cool.
I was just like,
yeah, it's a good neighborhood.
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
all right. Well, thank you again so
Thank
much.
you.
Your house is gorgeous.
Oh,
Those are
thank
my
you.
keys.